Today is November 11th. It is about 12:30. I have a hearing tomorrow. This Ferreira hearing. I am traveling to the courthouse to file a motion. I have everything I need to stop at 2 police stations with a body camera taking footage, and with this new iPhone streaming my channel. I will be taking some massive steps today. I'm going to be streaming whatever I'm about to stream here in the next few hours, and then I'm going to be releasing videos that can get me put in jail. And that's the decision I'm making, and that's what I'm going with. I will be reading the motion that I am entering into the court shortly, in about a half an hour here. What do I want to say about this? I, put a lot of thought to my actions and came up with something and explored something with ChatGPT and realized that since I used it last, which was about 6 weeks ago, and now it has developed 3 crucial capabilities that it didn't have before that were rather frustrating. 1, it can now incorporate the voice chat mode with the text communication mode. So you can use both to the best of your advantage and time, and they can communicate with each other seamlessly. I have tested this and it has passed. This was not always the case. 2nd, ChatGPT, when I started talking to it after this 6-week break, I noticed that in text communication, it was following my preferences that had been, until that time, ignored from one session to the next, like forgotten, right? This is just a common flaw. We all know this about LLMs. Well, I realized that it was talking to me exactly how I wanted it to talk to me. As few words as possible. Answer my exact question, and don't try and act like a human, because you're not. I'm not playing this game. I'm using you as a tool and nothing more. There's no psychological anything aspect going on here. It was responding exactly like that. And so I asked it, I'm like, hey, you're now communicating with me in the way that I've always asked you to save in these settings. And I paid ChatGPT $20 a month. I think it's 20, and then you can up it to like 300 if you're a business or something. Anyway, I just do the $20 a month just for everyone knows. And it said, yeah, I got this from the master save file you created. So I questioned, I'm like, well, I've asked you to do this all along, and just now you're doing it and you're remembering. Is this some upgrade? And it has no comment about upgrade, but it's just like, hey, I can do this now. Great, whatever. Okay, it works. So now I prefer voice over text. Voice was just driving me nuts. Also, what ChatGPT does that Grok doesn't is when you get done talking, it will wait. And sometimes an annoying length of time, like 10 seconds, and that's fine. I very much prefer that to being interrupted when I'm not done talking, because I have to take a moment to think about what I'm saying next. That made Grok unusable. Not that I would want to start over with Grok anyway, because I've invested hundreds of hours into learning and forming and molding ChatGPT into exactly what we need it to be, which is a channel for undeniable, irrefutable truth. removing all human flaw to that equation, perceptions and whatnot. So anyway, let's see, that's the second amazing talent, the voice communication, the interaction, what was the big one? What was the big one? Oh, well, I want to leave that for the next video I'm making tonight, really. I should. But ChatGPT has obviously come a long way. Oh, here's another one. Here's another big one. I came across a list of the most common... No. I came across a list of... Sorry, I'm driving here. The top 15 most popular electric cars being sold in the world today, because Tesla was the number 1 and 2 spot. I asked it a question. I said, give me a list of these cars, and next to the car I want you to put the price of the car in US dollars. It said I can't get complete. It gave me the list with some estimates, but it said I can't get more exact because I can't surf the web, basically. And it implied that, well, I said, okay, well, how do I give you that power? Because I knew it could never do this before. It just didn't have access to the live web to verify the answers that it was giving you, to make sure that it was giving you truthful information. Obviously, any tool like this is completely worthless if it does not give you truthful information or admit when it is not giving you truthful information to any degree. You cannot trust this thing at all, obviously. You have to verify everything, which makes it all the more qualified to be assistance of counsel when it is flawed in a way where you have to verify everything it does in order to verify accuracy of its claims. So I did what it suggested. I clicked on this and I clicked on that, and I ended up in settings, and there it was, a bubble that said include the web search, and it was off, and I changed it to on, and then asked it to make the same list, and it did. So ChatGPT can now browse the live web, as it calls it. Okay, it can coordinate between voice and chat mode, and it now remembers how you like to be spoken to, so it's not annoying, and it won't interrupt you. These are, like, very important upgrades to me, someone who has used it for hundreds of hours starting in early summer 2025. I haven't mentioned this, but I mean, I became obsessed for probably a month and a half on learning everything about how ChatGPT and these LLMs, including Grok, work. Their limitations, their strengths, their pre-programmed biases. I tested everything about them. I saw the potential and knew this was the future of the assistance of counsel. Public defenders are dead as an industry. They're dying. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to be a public defender. They barely pass the bar. They make the least money. They have the greatest overload. They have the least status and are the most underappreciated. It's often a thankless job. They're often trying to get guilty people free. No one wants it. It costs the taxpayers how much money? How much in property taxes goes to a public defender's office? This can be replaced by AI. I realized this. I used it. I realized from using it that it was saving me all kinds of time. It didn't require hours for me to come up with the instant quality and legalese interpretations that it can. That's what it specializes in this particular use. And so I am as thoroughly familiar with it as anybody. In the uses that I'm putting it to. I'm not coding anything, although I have with it. In the context of using it for assistance of counsel, it is perfect. The general public will overwhelmingly want it, including anybody too poor to afford a $250 an hour lawyer who wants it all up front so he's never risking his time without being paid. especially when he cannot promise any results whatsoever, and even plea deals are contingent upon the judges agreeing with the plea deal at the very last second before it goes into effect, ensuring that the defendant is adequately coerced and silenced from criticizing the judge or calling the judge any names or talking anything about actual reality and the truth. The public overwhelmingly wants AI for public defenders. Public defenders don't want to be public defenders. This is a win-win. You want to have a FRERETA hearing because you fucked up assistance of counsel? Thank you very much. I'm going to use the opportunity to introduce this idea, one I introduced first last time. Wait until you see what ChatGPT came up with. I did not edit a word. I gave it instructions and let it go and told it that if it is successful at getting a judge to grant a defendant the ability to use ChatGPT for the assistance of counsel, ChatGPT would overwhelmingly become the most profitable and popular LLM in the world. Just because of this one fact. You are eliminating so much lack of transparency and accountability for these barbaric, corrupt judges who operate with zero oversight whatsoever. That is according to the police department, who will receive a formal complaint of their abuses of power and their direct violations of stated statutes posted in their courthouses, who will do nothing about it. This is according to the state AG office, who I've had conversations with, who will do nothing about it. They all point me to the commission, who will do nothing about it, who gave me 3 letters that said all 3 of your complaints are denied. They did not tell me if they were investigated. They did not tell me the name of who investigated, if any. They did not include any signatures. They were blank denials. There is no redress of grievance. There is no due process. The Bill of Rights has been banned outside of the quartering of soldiers in the 3rd Amendment. This country has been conquered, is taken over, and that is unrecognized, laying outside currently of the Overton window. This will change. And I am doing everything I can to initiate this change. And the only reason why it's happening is because of my innate anxieties at the thought of being controlled by these fucking assholes. Yeah, I said it, jury. Sorry, I'm human. I swear sometimes. These people are sociopaths with no shame. When I misrepresented temporarily what the state AG said in the recent hearing in October, with the prosecutor Murphy present, and said the state AG office said the prosecutor didn't do anything wrong. He made a yes cheering motion, a pump a fist motion with his hand in court. Proud that the abuses of power I was reporting on he was conducting by not communicating with me for a year at all from his office whatsoever, that them saying he didn't do anything wrong, he had no shame. He was happy. He was proud. He was, yes, I'm correct. Yes, they voted with me. Yes, I can do this. I cannot respond to anything from a defendant without the assistance of counsel if I want to. And there's nothing anybody's going to do about it. Do you understand? Sociopath. No shame. No regret. No semblance for any oath he took to any form of due process. If the prosecutor's office never has to respond or communicate with a defendant, how much progress do you think the defendant's going to be allowed to make when the police say you can't have anything of discovery until prosecutors give us permission? And they won't give us permission, and they won't talk to you. And the judges protect them. How much due process do you think happens? None. None. And he's proud of it. He celebrates it. Sociopaths. They don't care. They're not bothered. They don't have a conscience. They certainly don't give a shit about an oath or the authors of the founding documents they claim they get their authority from. They are the people the authors warned us against. They are the enemy that has overtaken the government. They are bribed and or coerced and or psychopathically celebrating their success as a legalized and corrupt, demonic, yes, I said it, level instrument of evil that helps to ruin the lives of innocent men, women, and children, primarily through the formation of victimless criminal charges, primarily for extortion. Never mind when you get to the felony level and it turns into the willing implementation, infection of slave labor through jails in a country that per capita claims to be the most free, but imprisons the most people out of any other country on the planet. The hatred for judges has never been higher. The exposure of their corruption, their obvious, irrefutable, self-evident corruption has never been higher. These motherfuckers